Hey, Ticats fans, it's your digital host, Louie B, and I hope you're staying safe and healthy and happy and getting ready for an exciting 2021 Ticats season. This is our Ticats Offseason Roundup podcast. It's our first venture into podcasting. As mentioned, I'm your digital host, Louie B, and this podcast is presented by WeatherTech. And we thought for the premiere episode, let's get the premier guests. And so I'm very pleased to bring in the quarterbacks of your Hamilton Tiger Cats, Jeremiah Masoli and Dane Evans, and the offensive coordinator and quarterbacks coach, Tommy Condell. Jeremiah, you're looking around there. You're our premier guest. What are you guys talking about? Great to see you.
Appreciate it, man. Always good to be with you, Louie.
Dane, I want to start with you because you managed to get the guys together, some of the guys together, just a few days ago, last week in Texas at your home camp there. Tell us what went down last weekend.
Yeah, what's up, man? Thanks for having us. First of all, I don't know if you'd classify us as premier guests, but I'll take it. It was fun, dude. We had a lot of the guys come down. Everybody came from all over the country, and we met in Arlington, Texas, which is where my dad coaches at. They have like a big 60 or 70 yard indoor in there, and which was great because it was kind of raining a little bit, but we got some good work in. We all stayed in an Airbnb together, and it was great, man. We got to go eat a couple times, just seeing the guys. It was fantastic.
Coach, what did it mean for you to see that? I mean, I'm assuming you didn't ask them to do this. You weren't putting pressure. Hey, you guys should all get together. So for you as a coach, to see the guys take the lead on this, to get together, to pass the ball around, to just catch up. More importantly than that, just to see each other, to be around each other. What did that mean for you to see?
I just think it's a tangible. It's always going to be about the players, and certainly this year is going to be no different. I think it's going to even be more with some of the protocols that take place in this COVID world right now, and the leadership that comes from Dane and Jeremiah to be able to get those guys together. That just shows, honestly, a tangible way that these players actually lead by example and make it their team, and I like I always say, I'm happy that I'm for the ride. I just wish I was down in Texas at the time, to tell you the truth, but I couldn't make it, obviously, and I was up here at least making sure the Christmas lights were down.
Solely, I mean, to be able to pass the ball to Braylon, to pass the ball to Speedy, to send him on a route and just air it out. I mean, it had been a while. You hadn't done it rehabbing, and the knee's doing better. It's doing great, I'm assuming. We'll start there. But what did that mean to you, just to be back on the field, throwing to your teammates?
Yeah, it's almost been like 2 years almost since I've kind of been out there throwing with those guys. So it's been a while for sure. It was a heck of an opportunity. I mean, we were all saying, we were so thankful for Dane and his dad for kind of putting that together, just throwing it out there, throwing the feelers out there if anybody wanted to get together. And, that's just kind of who we are in that locker room. As far as the receivers, some of them just wanted to come out and work. So, it ended up being a great experience. Good to see the guys face to face. It was definitely needed.
Coach, want to get back to you on this because, we're here with two elite quarterbacks, right? There's no other way to describe these quarterbacks that their numbers speaks for themselves. Have you ever had a 1-2 punch as dominant, as good as the two men we're looking at right now?
Well, not as good looking, I'd have to say. They're pretty. That's number one. But, it's always exciting to have guys such as themselves to be able to not only from the top of their profession and show up, but also the day in, day out grind of chasing greatness that they both have. They have a hunger and they have a love and a drive. And when you have that combination along with intelligence, and to be able to do that at the quarterback position, great things do come and they work at it. So it's exciting to have both, certainly. And I enjoy really coming to work. We all challenge each other. I think it's an environment that is challenging, not only challenging in a way of, but in a respectful way, of course, but both of us. I expect them to challenge any of the things that I say and what we teach, and also come to a conclusion. They have lots of football experience, and it's my job not to lock that.
Jeremiah, you kind of were presented with this unique opportunity, and again, it was something out of something bad, which was your knee injury. But a lot of guys might have dwelled on that. A lot of guys might have just kind of pieced on their rehab on their own. But you made a point to stay around. You made a point to be there at practice. You made a point to be there at games, to be on the sidelines cheering on your guys. Did you kind of get a different perspective of the game and the way the game's played and the way the guys work from where you were on the sidelines?
Yeah, definitely. I mean, number one, you cherish it like crazy. You know, it was just taken away so quick. So you cherish it, the small things, just getting together with the guys. So, you know, when I did leave to get my surgery and come back, it felt really good just to be a part of the team again. You know, and that's just kind of the great thing about football, you know, being a part of something bigger than yourself, chasing greatness like Tommy was saying. And, you know, just watching Dane from afar, seeing him execute at the high level that he was, you know, I definitely learned a lot from it. And being up in the box, kind of seeing Tommy's perspective sometimes, I think it'll definitely help me in the long run for sure.
And then, Dane, for you, I mean, what did that mean to have Jeremiah around, to have a guy who knew this offense so well? Basically, another coach, right? Another guy you can lean on, and who's not your coach, a confidant almost. Like, what did that mean for you to have Jeremiah around during his rehab?
Right. For me, I mean, I needed personally all the help I could get. I was trying to be like a sponge from everybody. And to have Jeremiah be so unselfish that he would share his wisdom with me and let me get better and develop without having to make some of the mistakes I would have made if he didn't tell me the things he told me. And then just for the personal side of things, I mean, we're really good friends. He's got a lot of friends on the team, and it's just great when you come in the building every day and you see him in there and he's working too, just like you're working, and you're all pushing towards the same goal. I mean, that was more of like an emotional thing. And like, I think our team needed that, to see him around. And I was very thankful that he was able to do that.
There was when I saw a tweet, you know, once Jeremiah resigned, I saw someone on Twitter was like, well, there's no way they're going to be able to get along in the locker room. Like, there was one thing. It's like that person had obviously never been around this team, right? Because there's never a moment where you guys would even let that thought cross your mind.
Right. No, I mean, you know, when we were down there in Texas, you know, we're telling each other to coach each other up, you know, like, don't tell me what I'm doing wrong. You know, that's just who we are, man. We just want to get better.
Yeah, I'm 100%. I mean, just seeing things like that, it's just, to me, I don't have another word for it other than stupid. It's just so like one-sided, and it just shows you that people don't really understand what goes into what we're trying to do.
Tommy, you got to say
Oh, yeah. You know, I was laughing at some of the, you know, I got a great little story. You know, when Jeremiah went down, you know, he got a chance to come up in the box. I thought it was really great, you know. And it was great to have Jeremiah up there, but also there with Dane as well, because I wanted the synergy is really important. And to sometimes with Dane, as our relationship grew, I also wanted Dane to have the confidence that he could talk to and also translate some of the things that I would be saying, because I've, you know, Jeremy and I worked together for, 3 years before and stuff like that. So he was able to really translate for me, you know, like, this is what he's really saying to you, you know, something of that nature. But the thing that was, we were upstairs in the box, you know, and we're working, and some of we might be having some fun, or you know, we're playing the game, and all of a sudden we're not doing as well. You know, I turn around to see, I said, look at it. I go, they're just screwing up the called game here. Do you see that? You know, just so it was, but you know, no jokes. But I will say this: I think it's always, he was able to take advantage of that opportunity to see it from a coach's perspective of when the calls come in, and the expectations and the intent, and now not to see that, you know, hey, it's the last piece of chicken philosophy, you know, where like, hey, I got to grab everything I can get like a little puppy, and then all of a sudden it's going to be there, you know, and then to be able to teach that also in a way and assist me as I learned Dane and all that kind of business. So I did such a tremendous job. So it's exciting to get into that room. I just can't wait till we get all in there. I can tell you, we'll be 6 feet.
Because, yeah, Because coordinators never make mistakes, right? It's the quarterbacks on the field. Like they mess up your play calls. You make the right call 100% of the time. Speaking of play calls, two very good quarterbacks, two elite quarterbacks here. What's kind of the bread and butter call for each of them? Like, what's the bread and butter play call? You don't have to, don't go too down the rabbit hole. But for Dane and Jeremiah, two different quarterbacks, two great quarterbacks. But I have to imagine there's a bread and butter call for each of them.
Yeah, it's pretty easy, and I can just say it. Probably the 3 words: throw it deep. You know what I mean?
Absolutely.
Long as something's involved in there, so they're both the same on that. And so that was an easy one. That the off ball.
Throw it deep. Dane, you were in an interesting position, trying to stay busy, trying to stay around the game. Obviously, there's still a lot of football being played down in Texas, as no surprise there. You actually got to help coach a little bit, coach a high school team. Coach, I know you got into the coaching. Do you have more of an appreciation for what Coach Tommy was doing, getting your foot wet there with coaching yourself?
Yeah. Oh, no doubt. I was coaching at the University of North Texas, and I kind of like how Jeremiah got to be in the box for our season. On game days, I was in the box right next to the OC, suggesting passing game concepts. So for me to we didn't play, but to be mentally locked in every Saturday on a whole different offense, and actually having the coaches come up to you and being like, what concept would you call here? I think that's one of the best ways to learn football and coaching in general. So even though we didn't get to play, I thought that was the next best thing I could do. And so absolutely, I have more of a respect for just even calling any plays. It's not an easy job. But at the same time, it's definitely something that when my playing days are done, I'm definitely going to want to be an OC. So I'm hooked now.
So you kind of got that appreciation up in the box with, I know you mentioned it a little earlier, but being alongside Tommy, seeing his perfect play calling, you get a little more of appreciation for the guy in your headset, eh?
Yeah, man, it's definitely not easy. I know it's easy to be a good armchair quarterback, like they say. It's easy when you're playing Madden and picking those plays, but when it comes down to real world stuff, man, nobody's better, man. My man Tommy take care of business.
Mm-hmm.
Tommy, we were talking a little before we got on here. I know you got your boys homeschooling, working, schooling, what that's been all like. But solely, again, to the injury, the pandemic, you got a young guy at home. And I know a lot of the guys have been talking about this experience about, it really sucks being away from the game. But having this time in your son's life, and Tommy, you might be able to speak on this as well, but I mean, it's time that I'm sure you're not taking for granted.
No doubt. Yeah, sorry.
No,
yeah,
go ahead.
It's definitely a blessing in disguise when it comes to just being able to have that freedom to spend time with your kids whenever you want to, your wife, as opposed to, my wife knows, we all, our significant others know that when it's season time, we're on the grind. It's hard to get a hold of us. We're in it 24/7. We're locked in mentally. So it's just good to kind of get that break and just to, breathe and just, take in our relationships, and just learning all these life lessons, just cherishing our relationships,
Tommy?
I echo that, what Jeremiah said, and all of it's been great, and we've utilized it. But I will say that I cannot wait to get back and ready to go. And it's not anything I'm saying that's a detriment to my kids or my wife, because I'm sure if she comes barreling in here, she would be saying, get the hell out of here too, because I'm organizing the whole thing. I didn't realize. I'm like, all right, hey, when are we? And we've had this settled a long time ago that hers, and she's the CEO of the Condell too. So, I'm just here and I'm ready to get back to work.
And Dane, I know your wife because she's got a charcuterie board business, because I know I've seen the Instagram posts that every single time I almost I want to eat it through the phone. You got a dog at home. I don't want to leave you out of this conversation, but I mean, having that extra time around, you're recently newlywed almost, but having that time, like Jeremiah said, with your relationships, because I have to imagine your entire relationships, you've been pulled in different directions, maybe gone for weeks at times to play football, but having this one-on-one time, being able to support your wife as she launches, her new business, that must be a special time for you too.
Yeah, it really has been amazing because like these guys have said, when the season comes around, I mean, we see each other more than we see our significant others. And that's just how it is. I mean, they know what they signed up for. And having this extra time, well, I'm like Tommy, I'm ready to get going again, but it has been a blessing. I mean, me and my wife got to take a road trip we wouldn't have taken. We got a little puppy now and we're raising him. So, and her business is growing. So I'm extremely proud of her. Extremely thankful for this time, but ready to get going again too.
I want to finish it up here because a lot of the guys, we talk about Tim Hortons Field a lot, but a lot of the guys are missing Tim Hortons. A lot of, that's the one thing guys seem to be missing when I ask, what's the first thing you're going to do back in Hamilton? So we're going to finish this up. We'll go around the horn here. First thing you're going to do once you're back in Hamilton. Dane, we'll start with you.
Large double-double. That's what I want.
That's it.
Yeah.
Large double. That's no donut. No. Because
I want the coffee.
Speedy's getting a box of 40 birthday cake Timbits, so he's on the list there. Yeah.
Yeah. I'll just get a couple from him.
Masoli, what's the first thing you're doing once you're back in Hamilton?
That's a tough one, man. I want to do a lot. I'm definitely gonna grab me some Tim Hortons coffee, and then just get to Tim Hortons Field and jump in the hot tub, man. I haven't been that thing in a long time, so take advantage of that.
Tommy, you approve these answers?
Oh, I love it. I can't wait. I know what I'm going to do. I'm going to get a bottle of like Lysol and a mask or something, and I'm going to hug each one of them, and I'll spray myself down and hug them again. I can't wait. I can tell you.
I know, McMaster, I drove past McMaster University the other day, and all I could think about was hopefully we're there sooner rather than later for training camp. I know training camp's not everybody's favorite part, but I know you guys are probably dying to run in 2-a-days at the McMaster Field there.
No doubt.
Thanks so much for doing this. The fans appreciate it. I appreciate it. It is great to see you guys. Hope you're all doing well, safe, and healthy. And again, can't wait to see you back here in Hamilton.